Mark Zinno and I promised you yesterday that for only $5, you could find out what both of us liked in the bowl game between Memphis and West Virginia, the Frisco Bowl. And guess what? All of you who made that investment for just $5, whether you bought from Mark, whether you bought from myself, you were a winner, and you were a winner quickly as Memphis went over its team total first drive of the second half. Yay for us, Mark said.
Yes,
Yay for
yay.
the morning
And
culture.
more people did buy it from me than from you, which is, obviously they're smart
That was
people.
an unnecessary comment.
No, I just wanted, if you watched yesterday's show, we made sure that the people flocked to me rather than you. They've had enough of you, and I think they're ready for something new and invigorating and fresh, and that's where they came to me. Beyond that, we do have to give credit to these odds makers, man. I mean, this is how crazy it is. You and I, when we started dissecting this
Mhm.
game like over a week ago, and we saw the line flip and where the number was, it was sitting at 4.5 pretty much for a full week leading up to the bowl. And then yesterday we saw a ton of steam come in on Memphis, went to 5, went to 5.5, went to 6 at one point. And the game lands on 5, right? So if you took it early and
Mhm.
took Memphis minus 4.5, you covered. If you waited at 5 or 5.5, you ended up pushing or losing. But we went the alternate market. That's the first thing I said to you. I said, well, if we missed the best of the number, let's look to an alternate market here. And we went team total. And that was one of the easier, those no sweat covers are great. Those two, you stayed up and watched the rest of it. I went right to bed. As soon as they hit 35, out. See ya. Done. Going to sleep. Not even gonna wait up for this.
I perversely was rooting for Memphis not to cover so that my decision to take the team total looked even better in retrospect. So there you have it. Coming up here today, Mark and I have a best bet on one of today's two bowl games. Stay tuned for that. But
By the way,
yeah,
can we real quick just talk about the choke job that both of our double play bets did yesterday in overtime? Clemson and
yeah,
K State. Oh God,
yes.
terrible.
What we are going to dust ourselves off and try again, as the old song goes,
Thank you, Mealy K.
because
Bucks, though, for covering.
that was very nice. That was very nice. But today's double play, again, Mark and I have each focused in on a TV game in college basketball. Mark, you are up first. You're talking Creighton and Georgetown in the Big East. You know the Big East very well. And tell us what you think about this game.
Well, as you mentioned, Big East basketball is sort of my thing. Go Johnnies. By the way, they covered a huge number yesterday against DePaul, smoked them. So St. John's looking on the up and up. That's it. Georgetown and Creighton, one of these typical matchups. Now, a lot of people don't recognize what Ed Cooley, who left Providence and took over Georgetown last year, now to this year, the vast improvement he's made in the Georgetown Hoyas. They're sort of flying under the radar right now. No one's really looking at them as a threat, but they just got a huge road win at Syracuse. And this has become very much a stalwart defensive team. And both of these teams are very good from a defensive nature. When you look at all the numbers and when you put them up in Ken Palm, you're talking about overall Georgetown top 70 in adjusted defensive efficiency, Creighton 33rd. This is a Georgetown defense that's 23rd in the nation in 2-point percentage field goal per shooting. That's a really good thing. You want to know why? Because Creighton doesn't shoot a lot of threes, and they're not that good at it. So everything they work is inside, and that helps them out because guess who's inside? Ryan Kalbrenner, right? Like that's where they get all their shooting from. Georgetown will figure out a way to limit him. You're talking about a Creighton defense, that is 48th in 3-point field goal percentage shooting, 25th in 2-point percentage. This is defense all around here. This will be a very tight game going back and forth. And I expect the pace to be really slow. I expect both these teams to check each other early. And we're going to look to an under here of 146.5 between Creighton and Georgetown. I will acknowledge, and I said this to BP when I talked about this game, my biggest fear is that Ed Cooley, the coach of Georgetown, will force overtime. He has no problem whatsoever playing overtime. I think he actually enjoys it. But as long as we avoid overtime, I think we stay away here. Again, this is a Hoyas team that allows opponents less than 65 points per game. Creighton at 69. We get a high total here at 140. It opened up at 148.5. We're down to 146.5. Not really scared of the movement at this point in time. I think we're playable till about 144 for my money if it continues to go down. But let's go under 146.5 between Creighton and Georgetown in the Big East tonight.
Hopefully, Mark didn't just jinx himself by bringing up the one word that underbettors never want to hear, overtime.
Yes.
Smash that like button, though, if you are in agreement with Mark there on the under in Creighton, Georgetown. I'm going to take a look here at Michigan, Oklahoma in the Jumpman Classic, Charlotte, North Carolina, top 25 battle here. And Mark, it's very interesting. We're down to 4 unbeaten teams in college basketball as we lost another one last night. Utah State loses for the first time. Oklahoma is one of those 4 undefeated teams, 10-0. Pollsters have them only number 14 in the country. Now, if you're not following along too closely, you may say to yourself, oh my gosh, undefeated? They're only number 14? That seems underrated. Oh, contraire. Let's look at what a reputable individual like Ken Pomeroy says about the Oklahoma Sooners. Oh, he has them 38th in the country, despite that 10-0 record. How could that be? Does he have a vendetta against the Sooners? No, he does not. Ken probably knows that Oklahoma, has benefited so far from some of the most extremely fortunate 3-point variance that you'll see. That's how they won the battle for Atlantis. You go back and look at that MTE, Mark. How did Oklahoma win 3 games down in Atlantis? They made 41% of their threes. Opponents made only 28% of their threes. Incredibly, for the season, teams are only shooting 28% from behind the arc against the Sooners. They have just one win against a team that was ranked at the time. That's Arizona, who is now 4-5 on the year. So I think Oklahoma, I'm putting them on the Bernie Madoff fraud alert list. I just don't think this team is as good as its record. They rolled into this event last year, the Jumpman Classic, with an undefeated record. Played North Carolina. Guess what happened? They lost for the first time. Didn't even end up making the NCAA tournament. Michigan. Give me them. They win. And Oklahoma, their first loss of the season. Michigan -3 is my half of the double play to go along with Mark's under on that Creighton Georgetown game.
Very well done. That's one heck of a breakdown. I'm quite proud of you, to be honest with you.
Okay, good. I always like when I get your seal of approval on the breakdowns. It makes me feel a little bit better. I often strut out of here. Okay. Would we like, before we talk about the LA Bowl, perhaps we should talk about if you buy January, you get December free. You see it right there. Another great special offer from WagerTalk.com. That's in addition to the bowl packages, which are still up. You can still get all of Mark's bowl picks for $149, all of my bowl picks for $149. Just head on over to WT.buzz/MZ, WT.buzz/BP. Mark, we're both officially passing on the 2 bowl games tonight in terms of clients, although we do have this lean we're going to talk about in the LA Bowl. Is there anything you've got up at your page that you would like to let the viewers know about right now?
Of course. Still have that 5% play. So yesterday's $5 Tuesday play runs us to 9-2 on Tuesdays through college football season. And my 5% play was a play I put out last Tuesday when one of the big 4 bowl games or the college football playoff games were released. So that's a 5% play. I have a second play in the college football playoff coming up. And guys, guess what? I'm going to have a third. So, which will be posted later today. Yeah. You know this look and you like this look. And I think this look is quite good looking, to be honest with you. So yeah, we're going to have 3 plays in 4 of the games for the college football playoff. That's all going to be up on the site today. Go there, WT.buzz/MZ, grab that 5% play. The other ones are just, throw-ins for you, winners. Just good stuff. Good stuff all around.
I know you. I like you. I'll talk about what I have coming up in just a little bit. But let's get to the LA Bowl. What? You're allowed to talk about your stuff, but I can't talk about mine?
You asked me a question. You asked me a question. What do I have? I answered your question. I'm not going to ask you, Bryan, tell me about your record. Tell me what you have up on the site. I'm not going to ask you that. You're just going to do it on your own. There's a difference. If you wouldn't have asked me, I would have never brought it up.
All right, we want to give you guys something here in the college bowl games, and it is the LA Bowl. Wow. Now, I am not one of these people who is going to get on my soapbox and go on some big social commentary about bowl season. Okay, I hate when people do that. When there's one bad bowl game and people go on Twitter and they talk about how NILs ruin the sport. I'm not going to do that. Okay. But if there is a bowl game, Mark, that is emblematic of kind of just what college football has become this time of year, it's this Cal UNLV game in the LA Bowl.
Not Oklahoma, Michigan. There we go.
Well, okay. UNLV, all right. They lose their coach, Barry Odom. He took the Purdue job. Good luck there. All right. Their offensive coordinator, he's gone. He took the Sacramento State job. So initially, you look at this game, it's like, okay, team with an interim coach. They have not done well, by the way. Teams with interim coaches in bowls, Mark, this is an incredible stat. 2-8 straight up, 0-10 ATS last 10. It's not good. So, okay, we're taking Cal today, right? Well, they may not have a quarterback. Mendoza, the starter, he's in the transfer portal. The backup's hurt. So it's either going to be the third stringer, CJ Hunter, former Ohio U Bobcat, or a freshman who's never taken a snap before. Oh, by the way, Cal's top receiver is in the portal as well, and they can't run the ball very well. Nope. We kind of like both these defenses, though. That's the one constant. So how are we playing? How should the people play the LA Bowl between Cal and UNLV?
Well, why not? I mean, just throw another under in there. Right. In reality, too, you also mentioned that UNLV's top wide receiver might be opting out. We haven't gotten word whether he's going to play or not. As is their one of their defensive backs, Jalen Catalan. I mean, this is one of these bowl games here where there's so much variance, which is why we're probably not, we're not going to get there from a client perspective, but we're interested in the idea that because so many replacements are in this thing, that it could be a sloppy game and a sloppy start, and you get yourself at a high total here between these two teams that really, haven't really been great offenses at all for consistent stretches. I mean, you look at Cal, they only scored 6 points in their last game against SMU, 24 against a bad Stanford team. Even against Wake, who's got an awful defense, they didn't have exactly the greatest game. So, and then of course UNLV just
laid an egg in the Mountain West game.
Laid a huge egg. Only scored 7 points against Boise. So motivation, it's hard to handicap it here because Cal probably would love to finish 7-6 instead of 6-7, and UNLV would love to cap off an 11-win season. Really hard for schools of that ilk to be able to do that. So I think motivation is equal on both sides. Kind of cancels it out, but I just don't think we get a lot of scoring here.
So the under is our best bet on Cal UNLV. Two programs that have gone a long time without a bowl win, Mark. Cal's last bowl win, 2019, the Red Box Bowl. Did you ever Red Box and chill, Mark Zinno?
I never did. No, I was not much of a Red Box guy. I just, Yeah, there we go.
There we go. UNLV's last bowl win. Would you like to wager when that was?
Was it with Greg Anthony and the running Rebs of the 1992 national championship?
No, that was a basketball team. Jerry Tarkanian coached basketball. He chewed on the top. I love that team.
Yes.
That was a good team. Good role models for the youth of America. I like that team. We need more teams like that. I enjoyed them as a child. Yes, well,
I remember them being frowned upon for that as a kid.
I thought they were cool. Anyway, the last time UNLV won a bowl game was 2000. The year 2000.
So closer to the running Rebs national title than where we are today. Exactly.
Yes, exactly. All right. I just thought I'd throw that tidbit in. Now, Mark did not ask, but I will tell you that I am now on a 60-39 college football run following last night's victory. 10-4 in all sports the last 7 days. Starting to feel good again, Mark. We were down in the dumps there for a couple weeks, but I'm starting to get it back on track again. So thank you for picking me up. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a colleague.
Your Ponzi scheme that existed over the last 2 weeks has been quite detrimental.
No, that was uncalled for. Okay, that was completely uncalled for, and I want that scrubbed from the record. I don't want that to be there.
I take it back. Pretend. Never mind that man behind the curtain. Just forget what he said.
Remember, folks, you buy January, you get December free. We will be back tomorrow. There's a bowl game Thursday. Chargers Broncos. I think I'm leading. Well, I'll talk about it tomorrow.
I'll tell you right now, that's a keys candidate. You just got to find another one.
All right, everybody. If you have not already, hit that like button. Why have you not done that? Please subscribe. Comment down below with your thoughts on Wednesday's bowl action. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Until next time, let's cash some tickets. Zinno, cash is tickets.